right, so you're gonna get a lot of people who are gonna tell you that Dragon Ball Daima is the greatest visual thing we've ever seen when it comes to the world of Dragon Ball. And I'm here to tell you that they are absolutely correct because it's like WWE Bobby Roode's theme. It's glorious, man, because the animation is so good. Look at this. Look how clean my boy Son Goku looks. Look at that. Just looks super Saiyajin. Look at this right here. Look how clean that looks of Goku coming forward to us as SS1. The animation, man, this is the opening animation with Goku basically from OG Dragon Ball, the first meeting with Bulma. Like, this was great, and I love this right here because they not only updated the animation, but they also gave us Dragon Ball characters in Toriyama style going back to the 1980s. Like, that was a huge blast to see. Like, I love this art. Like, who doesn't in Dragon Ball love them some Piccolo Jr. art? Like, that was the 23rd the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai. I got Budokai Tenkaichi on my mind because of course Sparking Zero came out, but just look how glorious that animation looks. Man, I mean, as rad it's ever looked, so cool. That cool montage they did with Goku and Bardock, like, that was fantastic. And then just look at this Kamehameha, like, man, like, this was amazing. And you talk about clean looking animation, look how awesome they did the Emperor of the Universe, Frieza-sama, aka Lord Frieza. Like, man, have we ever seen him look that awesome? Oh my gosh, look at that. You can't tell me that Perfect Cell is not clean. You cannot tell me that animation for Perfect Cell is just, as he would say, perfect. You know, I've always thought that Akira Toriyama, when it comes to his character designs, I've always thought Perfect Cell, top of the line, one of the greatest character designs that Toriyama has ever made. And man, did they do it justice, taking his vision. Like, Cell, he always looked cool with that design, but here, man, fantastic. And oh boy, showing love for my all-time favorite villain, or at least one of them in terms of Dragon Ball Z, the Majin Buu. Of course, my favorite form of Buu, Kid Buu, you know, because Kid Buu, he's just a menace. Just destroying things, man. Like, he looks devastating evilly there. Just, man, this stuff is so clean right here. And then we, of course, get all the friends and the family, and, you know, that's what it's all about. I love Dragon Ball and how, you know, they go through all the action, but just seeing the friends and family together, it's fantastic. But let's talk about this, the lore. The lore in this arc really opened up when you look at the demon world. This is the first time that Toriyama, who made this years ago, Toriyama, of course, going ahead and making the art look tremendous here, the background, the lore, the design. Also, let me give a shout out too, because I forget the animator's name. The one that did the opening for the Dragon Ball Superhero is what that style is what was done here, and it looked phenomenal. I mean, look at that. Everybody who's followed my YouTube channel knows that I love the gratuitous and vomiting. Like, it was great to see him on screen there with Dabura, aka Dobura, because of course this is all being about the Demon King, and then this is where we're introduced to our new characters. So we have Gomah there, who is in line next to become the Demon King, the new king of the demon world, now that Dabura is gone. And then the character here, I think his name is, let me remember, what was it? His name was Degetsu? Okay, Degetsu, I think is how you say his name. It's gonna probably take me a little bit to remember these characters' names right off by memory and stuff. But yeah, he's basically a Makaio Shin. Was it Makaio Shin or Makaio Shin? And I guess they were saying that he's brothers with the East Kyle Shin. So that was cool. Or I don't know if we thought maybe he's brothers, but yeah, I have to remember that part of the lore again. But man, that was just amazing to see. Yeah, if he is the brother of the Supreme Kai, aka East Kyle Shin. Once again, more clean looking animation. Like, they did a tremendous job with Majin Vegeta, and I love the Majin Buu arc, and I love the whole Majin the whole Majin Vegeta and Son Goku battle, one of my all-time favorite battles in the anime, because there wasn't much of a fight in the manga. But that was just awesome, and just the way they were looking at this, like all these multi-screens, like once again, look at this clean animation. Majin Vegeta and SS2 Goku going at it, just tremendous. They did this battle so much justice. Just once again, Majin Buu! Right? Like, man, that was fantastic. They went back and showed us, how Dabura, aka Dabura, was turned into a cookie and eaten, and the reaction of, I think Gomah, if that's how you say his name, apologize if I'm mispronouncing it, the way he looked, man, like, what? Dabura is gone? He was completely shocked, like, man. And what's awesome right here is one of the all-time greatest moments, Majin Vegeta, the final explosion, this sacrifice. If you're familiar with the Dragon Ball games, you know this moment, and just seeing him, in this animation, and Buu with the tongue, like, man, brought back so many great memories just to see it in this animation, and them seeing how Shenlong, aka Shanron, in the Funimation dub was summoned as they started researching about, okay, this is how we do the Dragon Balls. So it was really cool to see that as the audience, we're reliving these awesome moments from the Majin Buu arc, but these villains are actually just doing their homework, they're doing their studying, they're researching before they get into what they want to do for their plan. And of course, they show when Majin Buu goes ahead and destroys Bobbity and boom, blows his head off, and they are shocked, like almost like, what? They took out Bobbity? And you see in the background, Degesu, he is like super happy and everything, and they're just witnessing all these great moments. It was good to see Super Buu. You just, once again, clean animation. Look at Gotenks right there, SS3 Gotenks. My gosh, how awesome did they make Gotenks look in this shot? Awesome it is to see Ultimate Gohan, the cool, moments of Super Buu, when he's all like, hey, hotshot, you want to fight Majin Buu? Fight you? No. I want to kill you. Man, just awesome moments. Like, once again, like I just said, clean animation. The way they made Ultimate Gohan look here. And oh man, this means so much to me. If you were to ever ask me what's my all-time favorite moment in all of Dragon Ball, it's Son Goku getting the Super Genki Dama to destroy Kid Buu. And they did it so much justice right here. Man, look how gorgeous that animation looks. Because the Spirit Bomb, the Genki Dama, it is a beautiful thing, and that was fantastic. The way they showed all the energy, coming over to Son Goku, gathering all the Genki and throwing it down to Kid Buu. And yes, one of my all-time favorite moments that I used it as the thumbnail of this image. I love this moment, when he's saying, thank you, Dragon Balls, and then, just starts going ahead and destroys Kid Buu, and the way they did the animation there, fantastic. Really love that. It was great to relive the Majin Buu arc in this moment, and just seeing how shocked they were, their reactions when they see that, holy crap, Majin Buu was defeated by these people? We ain't got no shot. And this was really funny. So Degesu right here, he tells Gomah, like, he's shocked, like, what? Buu got defeated? What? Dabura got defeated? Bobbity got defeated? Well, guess what? There's no one else in your way. And that's when Gomah, he gets hyped first. He's like, yes, no one's in my way. And I think after this, I didn't get a screenshot of it, he gets worried because he's like, what? How are we going to compete against these guys? So I love it how I'm like, dude, my man here, Degesu, is trying to hype you up, and you keep finding reasons to get unhyped. So that was interesting. But we got him now as the new king and everything. So let me go ahead and take a sip of water here, man. I'm getting excited. I love Dragon Ball, as you can obviously see, man. All right, so he assumes the throne of the demon realm, and then this is when we're introduced. I want to make sure I'm saying her name right. Dr. Arinsu. Dr. Arinsu. So Dr. Arinsu is going to be, I guess, a female villain. And hey, I'm all for more female villains in Dragon Ball. You know, it was one of the reasons why it was so cool to see 18, particularly in the TV special known as History of Trunks and stuff. So hey, she looks like a formidable foe. We'll see if she turns out to be that way. She's kind of got the Whis thing going on. I love these character designs. This is just, man, Toriyama. He's such a master character designer. And then we had these characters. Now, I still don't remember how to say their names. This is the Tamagamas, the Tamagamas. I'm struggling with these names, y'all. Please forgive me. But they are the guardians of the demon world's Dragon Balls, as we find out. They kind of remind me of that. What was the mutant? I think they were called like the machine mutants in the English dub. They were the ones that were the underlings to General Ryodo in Dragon Ball GT. That's kind of what their designs are kind of reminding me of, but I'm guessing these guys are going to be tough because it's the reason why is Gomah explains that they can't get the Dragon Balls. Now, this is where they start coming up with their plan here, and of course, Dr. Let me see, am I saying her name right? Arinsu. Man, I am struggling with these new names. Arinsu, yeah, Dr. Arinsu. She's listening in on this plan, and so is this character. I think his name is Gomah, but let me see, make sure I got his name right here. I'm looking through here on some notes to make sure I'm saying his name correctly here. His name is Glorio. Okay, so Glorio is his name, and he's listening in on this, and it sounds like he's going to be one of the characters who are going to be on the good guy's side. Once again, more lore opening up, but what I wanted to say also, too, just going back to their plan, is to turn them into kids, figuring that if they become kids again, that these characters will become weak. Goku and his family and friends and stuff, so they're really trying to think this plan out. Once again, this world that Toriyama's created for the Demon World looks amazing, and I want to make this point that in Dragon Ball, when Battle of Gods came out back in 2013, and we found out there were going to be 12 new universes, that's why me and so many Dragon Ball fans were getting super excited, super hyped, because this is what we wanted. We wanted more lore. We wanted to see the world of Dragon Ball expanding, and unfortunately, they really never did that. Sure, we went to Universe 6, but it was just for a tournament, and we only saw a few things in flashbacks like would hit. We heard about Planet Sadala, which we never got to explore. We just saw a few training scenes of the 3 Saiyajins that we've already, come to know with Khalifa, Kel, and what's the other one that everybody's doing the meme with, SS4 Gogeta, Kaba and everything. So yeah, but this is what I wanted to see more of the universe, want more of the ever expanding world of Dragon Ball. So this was cool, and there of course we see those characters who I can't pronounce right now guarding the Dragon Balls. Those Dragon Balls look huge too, by the way. So now we meet this ancient old Namekian, and his name is Neva, and Neva, apparently they're going to go ahead and travel to the Earth realm and everything of the Universe 7 in order to go ahead and get the Dragon Balls. This was absolutely hilarious. Toriyama's work at its best when it comes to his comedy, man. So they get in there and they say that, when's the last time have you taken a shower? And I think Neva says something along the lines of, it's been like several hundred years and something since he fell in the mud. So, man, had to reek in there. Like, I thought that was hilarious. Totally wasn't expecting. And the fact that he's talking to him like, it's okay. It's okay to fall in the mud and go hundreds of years without taking a shower. No one's going to mind your mustiness. Like, wow. That was pretty hilarious. And they run into this big fish looking thing who basically tells them the way to go through this place that kind of looks like the whole river of time that Trunks travels to when he's going back and forth between the future and the present, and eventually they go into this other world and he ends up redirecting them finally to planet Earth. So that was good. And like I said, it's always great to see the family and friends together. It was great to see them. They're celebrating Trunks' 9th birthday. Now this part was a little bit weird. So as you all know, and I've complained about it over the years, Trunks and Goten, because Dragon Ball Super apparently takes place like 5 years after the end of after the defeat of Majin Buu, but 5 years before the end of Z. And of course, Dragon Ball DAIMA is a direct sequel that takes place 1 year after the end of after the end of Majin Buu's being defeated. But of course, these are before the events of Dragon Ball Super. So I mean, it's fine here. Trunks looks like a 9-year-old kid, and they're mentioning about, like, the height, and Goku starts explaining how, the Saiyans, Saiyans, aka Saiyans, they tend not to grow until they get to a certain age and stuff, like when they're like maybe 15 or something. And I still stand that the only problem with that explanation is that, well, Trunks, Gohan in the present timeline and Trunks in the future timeline both gradually grew at a regular rate. Even Son Goku, to a bit, grew at a regular rate. So why all of a sudden Goten and Trunks, they just stay as kids, and then once you get to Dragon Ball Superhero, then they blow up? So, I mean, that's my thing about that explanation that never really stuck well with me, is like, if only Gohan and Trunks in the future timeline didn't gradually grow, then I feel like it would make more sense. So that's always been one of my complaints there. But hey, it wouldn't be Dragon Ball if we didn't have plot holes, right, or inconsistencies. What was interesting, cool right here, is that we learned the East Kaioken, aka the Supreme Kai, and Kibito, they both split. Now, apparently, their reason here was that they had Majin Buu, the Fat Buu, absorb them, because just like Vegeta split when he was absorbed by Super Buu, they figured the same thing would work. Now, while I did find this a touching moment, because the hatred history between Fat Buu and the East Kaioken, aka the Supreme Kai, it was a really nice, touching moment to see them getting along right now. But one of my things here with this is, hopefully there's a good explanation. I'm guessing at some point, the East Kaioken and Kibito are going to have to refuse together, because when you get to Dragon Ball Super, it was explained that they used the Dragon Balls to split. So why they chose not to have Fat Buu go ahead and do that again, we're going to have to find out and see why. So hopefully that is explained and never left unanswered. Elsewise, once again, what would Dragon Ball be without plot holes? And then we get some sparring sessions, of course, between Son Goku and Vegeta, and man, this stuff looked good. Just look at the cleanness of the animation. I am so stoked to see the fights in this. The fights in this are going to be insane. I cannot wait. Once again, just Goku and Vegeta looking really cool. Galagon, and then Goku catching it with the Kamehameha, calling back to the epic Galagon Kamehameha struggles, one of the all-time greatest Ki Blast struggles in all of Dragon Ball. Man, let me get a sip of water here. That was fantastically just really good. It was great seeing the struggles. Looks very similar to how it is in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, honestly. Speaking of which, if you see at the bottom of the screen, all my affiliate and social media links are in the description comment below. If you haven't brought Dragon Ball Sparking Zero yet, check out my affiliate link for Amazon. Basically, it won't cost you anything extra, but it does allow me to make a commission, and it helps ultimately support the channel at no extra cost to you. So yeah, check that out below. But getting back to the fight, man, Son Goku and Vegeta just going at it. Awesome to see. And then, of course, we get Mr. Popo and Dende, who wonder if they should join their fellow friends. And I think it was Mr. Popo who says that, anything can show up out of nowhere. And then, boom, anything absolutely shows up out of nowhere. And he goes like, hey, look, something just showed up out of nowhere. Perfect timing. And of course, we are introduced here. He's like, whoa, another Namekian and another Supreme Kai. And what's really cool about, let me make sure I'm getting his name right, Neva. Yeah, one of the cool things about Neva's ability here is he is able to, and it kind of reminds me of the human extinction attack, seeing it like this, but he's able to shoot these lights that go all over the earth, and it turns the Dragon Balls, which are stone, and it takes about 1 year. He's able to go ahead and reverse the effects to speed up the process. And Dente tries to stop them, because these guys are totally doing all this without consent, just taking their Dragon Balls, gonna turn them all to kids as if their lives don't matter. So right off, these villains, I'm ready to see their butts get kicked right from the start, and he ends up chopping Dente. But I gotta admit, this was funny. So Mr. Popo runs over, and then he looks over and makes eye contact with Mr. Popo, was it Degesu, I think his name is, and he goes like, did you want some too? And he goes like, oh no, I'm good. if you follow Team 4-Star, they make Mr. Popo out to be out the mightiest god of all gods. So just seeing this, it's so funny. If you've watched Team 4-Star a lot and everything, obviously I know Mr. Popo's nowhere near as strong as they portray him in there, but it's just funny to see when you think of that. So of course here we get Kudin, aka Krillin, Piccolo, Bulma, all looking into the skies. It's getting dark, and they're like wondering what the heck is happening. And what's very interesting during this interaction is that Kibito and the East Kaioshin, they could tell something's not right with the energy of who's producing this. So once again, if him and my gosh, I cannot remember these names. Degesu. Yeah, if him and Degesu are related, that might be interesting. So I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes when it comes to episode 2. Of course, the East Kaioshin is supposed to be a huge part of this entire arc, so that's going to be interesting to see. And then we get CGI Shenlong, which looked really cool here, aka Shenron in the Funimation dub, and he ends up basically being told by Gomah, who wants them to turn them back into kids. And Shenron is like, well, how old? And he's like, I don't know, like 8 or 9. And he's like, well, what about the kids? He's like, turn them into babies. He's like, you're so specific. So I really love that attention to detail. That was pretty cool. And then of course Shenron, he obliges and turns them all into kids. And you're seeing Bulma, Kudin, aka Krillin, then Goku, Vegeta. Well, all these shots we've seen before in the trailers. They're all in pain, getting turned back into kids and stuff. And the episode ends with Glorio, I think, if that's how you say his name. That's literally just the one shot we got, and then the main theme song plays. By the way, I gotta give shout out for the theme song, let me see, the Dragon Ball DAIMA theme song. Let me see here. It's Jaka Jan, which is composed by Zed, which is really cool because he's in a whole nother country, and he got his music so popular to the point that they came to him to make an official theme song for Dragon Ball. So that's fantastic, man. I love seeing stuff like that, to have grown up and watching the series and then becoming a part of the series. Love to see it. Awesome. And so basically, yeah, we end here. I thought this was phenomenal. I love the opening of new lore that we got for Dragon Ball. I love the animation, and I can't wait to see how they're going to handle things in terms of the fights and everything. So I think Dragon Ball DAIMA is off to a great start, and it really just goes to show, unlike Dragon Ball Super, which they rushed into, when you give these animators time, look at the magic that happens. Of course, Dragon Ball DAIMA has been in production for 2 years. It's just fantastic to see. Kira Toriyama, of course, was heavily involved in this before he passed away. It is sad to know that he's not going to get to see the finish of it, but I'm glad he was able to write this and give this something, and I'm looking forward to see where this goes and how this Dragon Ball DAIMA eventually will end up tying into Dragon Ball Super when we get back to eventually, hopefully, finally going over the end of Dragon Ball Z. But as episode 1, fantastic. I love it. And so far, I will be back soon with episode 2 of Dragon Ball. That being said, like I said, if you want to click and watch more Dragon Ball content, click the link there on the screen, and all social media and affiliate links are in the description below. Until next time, take care.